Hey y'all, we're trying to make chicken. We bought this at Costco in Nashville yesterday. What the heck? Have you ever? Are we getting fake meat already? Because everything about my packaging said it was organic, USDA approved, but check it out. Super disturbing. We've made a lot of chicken breasts. We've never seen it look like this.
Late to see how long it would take for it to melt. 12 minutes on the counter in a normal home, and it doesn't really look like it melts. I gave it more time, and after about 23 minutes, this is what it looked like. You guys, the next day, 15 hours later, this is what the ice cream sandwich looks like.
Is this what fake cheese does? It doesn't melt, it just kind of balloons like it's finna burst or some shit?
Okay, what is up with food in America? Because look at this jelly. It's like goop. Usually, when I remember being a kid growing up, the jelly would be like a thicker consistency. I was cutting my beef, right? And for some reason...
I was just eating my chips when I felt something big.
Man, what the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. Get your goddamn ugly ass on.
Y'all, I swear I've had this watermelon for maybe 4 or 5 days. Went out of town, came back, it literally exploded. Look at this.
I knew Americans and their food were really strange, but have you seen their bread? They are 100% putting something in their bread. It's literally like elastic. So this is what homemade bread should look like, how it crumbles underwater. This man is legit rinsing his bread, and look at it, squeezing it, and it literally bounces back. It doesn't crumble or anything like that, like bread should. Why is it like a sponge?
Y'all, am I fucking tripping? Or is bread not supposed to do that?
The way she pressed down on the loaf and it literally automatically bounced back. I'm sorry, there's something in it. Another one. A man is literally like this with all his might in his hand, yet it still proceeds to be a normal round of bread. You don't know what the hell they are putting into your food, but I'm concerned. I don't know what is in there. But apparently it all tastes like cake as well. Like American bread tastes like cake. What?
Oh no. Oh my goodness.
And my and I'll go get my
What? Look. That's disgusting.
About to make a salsa, look at this.
They trying to kill us, man. We gotta stop this, man. We gotta start growing our own fruit. This shit from Sam's Club, man.
And I was cutting it, and this is what I found inside. I don't even know if this is even a watermelon or something else. I mean, is this like something they created in a lab?
So I cut watermelon for my kids, and they're all bringing it right back, saying they don't like the texture. I've seen enough videos of people posting rubbery watermelon. I can't believe I got one. I got a rubbery watermelon.
You guys, there is over 14,000 McDonald's in the USA. McDonald's produces over 6.5 million burgers a day to be consumed a day. A day. And McDonald's claims to go through over 7 million cows a day. So where are all the cows? Where are all the cows? Okay, I mean, we have a beef shortage here, yet they continue to consume that much in one day at McDonald's. Remember what I said, how many McDonald's there are all over this country? Almost 14,000 McDonald's in the entire continental United States. The illusion behind America's beef supply numbers. Is it false? Is it true? Are you really eating beef at McDonald's?
Oh wow, this is actually really sensitive. Can you imagine going somewhere? Let's say you go to the nearest supermarket, you buy bread, you leave it somewhere. Let's say you travel and leave it for days or maybe even weeks, and you come back, the bread is still there. It refuses to go bad. Or maybe you are eating chicken and the texture is just off. It feels off, almost like it's not breaking apart the way real food should. And this is actually happening to people in the United States. This is making them to question, what are we actually eating? So these videos dive into concerns about the modern food systems, especially in places like the United States, and whether a lot of what's being sold today is still real food. And honestly, some of these observations are hard to ignore. Let's subscribe and continue watching these videos, then I'll be back with more reactions. Thank you.
Okay, I have a quick story about American food quality and the effects of American food and eating it. So our daughter has been going to a French immersion school for the last 7 years, and so we've gotten to know a lot of the teachers who are usually French teachers coming over here in most cases on a contract. And so we've talked to them about this, and I've heard multiple times from teachers something along the following lines. You know, it's really weird. I came here and I've been eating the exact same diet, exact same food, everything the same. I walk, exercise the same amount and everything. I put on 10 to 15 pounds during the school year. I go back to France in the summer, weight comes off. So this isn't talking about the poison and the health issues and everything, but obviously there's something in our food. They're eating the exact same food, different quality, and it's causing them to just balloon up and bloat and all these other things and gain weight. So my question is, what the hell are they putting in our food that's doing that? Anecdotally, for us as a family, when we have gone over to Europe for like say 3 or 4 weeks and we eat, we drop weight, and we also feel healthier. I mean, just anecdotally, we feel good. And we're on vacation, we're splurging, right? We're having baguettes every day, or pain au chocolat, or, whatever it is, like eating pasta in Italy and, saying yes to dessert, because we're on vacation, right? So we're not really eating better in that sense, like relative to what we would have here. If we did that in America, I don't even want to think what would happen. And we feel good. And, people say, oh, it's the walking. No, we walk a lot here too. 10,000 to 20,000 steps a day. So it's not it. So there's just something very wrong with our food supply in America. So for us, a big reason for going overseas is trusting the food. We don't trust the food in America anymore. Absolutely not at all. In fact, it's beyond don't trust. It's absolutely sure that the food is poisoning us and is making us sick. That's where we've gotten. And you'll see lots about that here on TikTok. And I've lived it anecdotally, had that experience, and am convinced of it, and have just lost all trust. And it's just very simple. They ban all of the stuff that we allow in our food here. There's something like 3,000 ingredients or something that they don't allow. Like, for example, in the EU, they don't allow these ingredients, and we happily in America put them in our food. So there you go.
A black woman found the chicken she bought strange, so to avoid wasting food, she gave it to her husband. She said that when she opened the package to cook, the chicken did not look like normal meat. The fibers were very even and clean, almost like they were pressed into shape. There were no natural muscle lines or rough texture, just smooth layers that looked carefully made. The woman said she was unsure if eating this chicken could be bad for health. However, she also did not want to waste the food. After thinking about it, she decided to cook the chicken and give it to her husband instead. The husband, unaware of the situation, ate the chicken and has so far shown no abnormalities or adverse reactions. He said he feels normal and healthy. Some said there's nothing to worry about. They believe that if the product is allowed to be sold in stores, it must meet safety rules and should not harm people. Others said this is exactly why they no longer trust meat. Some explained that they first stopped eating meat because they did not want to eat animals. Now, they avoid meat because they are not even sure what they are eating. What do you think? Would you eat meat that looks like this?
I've only just moved to America, and I already want to fucking leave. Let me tell you, as a British family, I thought we were going to adjust here pretty well, but from the moment we've arrived, we've had some serious issues. No one fully prepared us for the situation of the food in this country. Like, we eat a pretty healthy diet. I'm talking lots of fruit and veg, a little bit of meat, you know, pretty normal. Back in the UK, we were doing great. Everyone felt fine, you know, we kind of had a good track on what we were eating and how it made us feel. But ever since we arrived here, we were doing the same thing, buying the same fruits and veggies. We were all really struggling. I couldn't sleep through the night. My partner was feeling really faint. The kids were low energy, constantly moody. I was like, what the hell is going on? Went to the doctors for my partner. They had no idea what was happening, but when we figured it out, holy shit. See, the poor sleep, low energy, bad mood, achy joints, they're all classic symptoms of mineral deficiency. And that's not because we weren't eating enough food. It's because the food that's here doesn't have the same amount of minerals in it that it did 50 years ago. So these minerals that our bodies rely on, like magnesium, calcium, copper, zinc, all of these that are found in the soil, which make their way into the plant, into the crops, which we then eat, because there's less of them in the soil, less of them are getting into our bodies, and it's causing all of these chronic problems, which is exactly what we have. Luckily for us, a guy at my work who'd also moved his family over here, who went through the exact same thing, has put us onto something which has been absolutely saving us. Honestly, this is it here. Look, I take it everywhere with me. Optimized Minerals. This is a powdered mineral drink, and it's got all of the big minerals that you need, like copper, magnesium, calcium, zinc, selenium, chromium, and then it's also got loads of B vitamins, vitamin C. Because it's in a powdered form and you mix it up into a drink, I just put a scoop in water and you just mix it up. This one's the blood orange one, which is delicious. Because it's in this powdered form, your body actually absorbs it. So it's not like taking the tablets, which for me has been my whole life, spending loads of money on different supplements, but never feeling any different. It's the difference after drinking this on the first day. It's crazy how quickly this works, and it really just shows what our bodies were lacking. Honestly, the change in our energy levels was crazy. Before, we were kind of just slumping around in the afternoon, getting irritable with each other. But after we started taking this, we were actually like filling those afternoons with things that we wanted to go and do. You know, go around exploring the area, exploring our new home, and we've absolutely loved it. Also, just being able to sleep all the way through the night makes such a big difference. If you can get a full rested sleep, you wake up in the morning like a new person, which is exactly how it should be. Again, this isn't me bashing America. The problem with the soils is all across the world. We absolutely love it here. We just know that how we felt in the UK and how we feel here was completely different. It is on the more pricey side, but it's basically replaced all our other supplements. So in that sense, it's actually way cheaper. But I'll put the link down there. If you want to check it out, just go on and read the reviews, because that's what sold me. I never buy anything until I read the reviews. So I'll pop it down there. The bundle's always sold out. So if you see that, I would jump on that quick.
Bro, I'm calling this now. Something wrong with the meat in the United States. Like, I don't know. Every time I get meat now, even if it's like white meat, like the chicken, my stomach be toe the fuck up. And I don't know, man. I think they hiding something. The United States, they would do that shit too. They would do that shit. Something fucked up with the meat. I'm telling y'all, just vegetables only for real.
We don't speak enough about the food in the US because there's something wrong with the food here. Okay, you go to the store to buy chicken, normal chicken, okay, then the chicken is a giant, and then we are wondering, okay, I've eaten chicken my whole life. My house used to have chicken. We will go and chase them around, catch them and go and kill them and eat them. Why are the chicken in the US giants? Why can't you have nice chicken that looks normal and it is normal? There's a problem with the food here. And then you go and buy bread. Okay. Back home, when you go and buy bread, you can smell the bread and you can see that, okay, this bread was probably done this morning and then was transported by a truck so that it can get to the store and it's still fresh. Okay, but you have like 2 days to eat it, otherwise it's gonna spoil. In the US, the bread is like it was baked last year, okay, and it lasts 2 weeks, still fresh. You don't understand, why is this bread still fresh? What is going on here? And then you have eggs, okay, eggs, normal eggs. Like, I get eggs, I'm like, okay, why are eggs this way? This doesn't look normal. So you find yourself having to read the labels. When you go and buy food, when you go and buy meat, you have to read the labels, because you might think that you are eating chicken, but it's actually not chicken. You might think that you are having eggs, but it's actually not eggs. So the things that you never had to worry about back in Africa, when you get to the US, you worry about them, because the food is not exactly the food as you understand it.
Hold it like rubber. And it tastes chewy too. It doesn't melt in your mouth like chocolate melts in your mouth.
This is ridiculous.
It doesn't do that anymore.
This is what I mean by when I say America's the greediest country ever. They want to take so much shortcuts for profit. Nah, I don't want to use real chocolate to make chocolate. I want to use chemicals to make chocolate. Oh my God. Bro.
Do you ever think like, good God, I'm trying so hard to lose weight and I'm doing everything right, but it's so hard to make those good choices. I feel like there's something in the food. Let me tell you why I believe that. I came to America about 30 years ago. I was really thin. My whole family was thin. We were eating the same foods at home. We were not going out to eat at McDonald's. We were making everything at home. And we massively started gaining weight on the same food we would have been eating back home. Now, we were less educated than we are now, so we didn't know what was going on and we didn't know what to look for. Fast forward to today, and this has happened with 3 families I have helped come over from either Russia or Ukraine. Right now, I'm helping one family from Russia, and there's like 6 of them, and they are all of a healthy weight. Yesterday, I talked to them, and they're like, Lena, we're gaining weight. Like, we're all gaining weight. And like the mom, she's thin, right? And she's like, we don't know what's going on. So they started like looking at the food. For example, they noticed there's a lot of sugar in the milk. And compared to what they're used to back home, I'm not even talking about added sugar. I mean, it says that it's not added sugar, but compared to the kind of milk they were eating, tons of sugar. So they've completely cut out the sugar. She's trying to walk like 15,000 steps. She said, I wasn't really walking that much over there, but like now here I'm feeling like I have to keep moving my body in order to maintain my weight. There is something in the food. There are added things. There are things that change the way we feel hunger. I don't know what that is. I'm not a scientist, but just by basic example of seeing these people coming to America, always having been thin, and now all of a sudden being like, what the actual F is happening? This, my friends, is evidence, whatever that may be, that something is up. And I'm not saying they're just sitting on their butt. Maybe that's a factor, right? But I'm sorry. It's not that big of a difference in movement, and these people are trying to move their body, they're trying to do things, they're trying to get out and about, but something is in the food. And they're not going out to restaurants at all because they don't speak English and they don't feel comfortable going to a restaurant trying to order. So everything is home cooked. Everything. They don't bring in sodas, they don't bring in any of the like junky in the middle foods because they don't really know what it is, so they try to stay away from it, yet still they are gaining weight. So if there's anything this story can tell you, my dear friend, it's not just you are not lazy. There's a food component there. I don't know what it is, man, but example, when I moved to Korea, I lost 40 pounds in the first 2 months. No, I was not walking that much more in order to lose 20 pounds a month, right? Something's in our food system, okay? And I'm not a conspiracy theorist person, but I just look at every family that I've helped come to America, and every time, about 4 months in, they're like, I don't know what's happening to my body. I don't feel good, and I'm gaining weight, and oh my God, what are we doing?
So I just watched that 60 Minutes episode on Americans being fooled by fake food, and I don't want to eat anything here anymore.
And then there's fish. The FDA says seafood fraud can occur when a less expensive species of fish is substituted for a more expensive species.
Everything is filler, everything is fake. When it says 100% Parmesan cheese, it's not. It's not. The salmon isn't salmon. The cod isn't cod. And we're using this to fuel our bodies. Like, I don't want to eat anything.
Welcome back. So one of the most striking things in this video is how certain foods behave in ways that just don't feel natural. That's not natural. Chicken. You saw chicken separating in a strange, almost stringy way. You know, bread that doesn't mold. That's not normal. It doesn't decay. And it was actually very surprising that the bread doesn't even dissolve properly in water. Now, to be fair, food science has evolved a lot. You know, preservatives, there are emulsifiers, stabilizers, which are all designed to extend shelf life and improve consistency. But here is where people get uncomfortable. When food stops behaving like food, it raises a very deep concern. You know, are we optimizing for nutrition or just for profit and convenience? Because real whole food historically spoils. That's part of nature. And then there is something about ingredients, and this is where it gets a bit more technical. Let's say, for example, things like bioengineered rennet used in cheese production. Now, scientifically, it's considered safe and widely used, but the concern isn't always just safety, it's transparency. That's why people are asking, do we really understand what's in our food anymore? Because then there's the issue of chemical residues like glyphosate. It's commonly associated with modern agriculture. Even when levels are within regulatory limits, the idea that it's present at all makes people uneasy. So the issue isn't always this will harm you immediately. It's more subtle actually. What are the long-term effects of consuming these things, you know, consistently over years? There's also a point on global sourcing. So food today is no longer local. It's global. Something as simple as canned corn might come from another country, processed under different standards and shipped across the world before it even reaches your plate. Now, globalization has benefits, you know, availability, affordability, you get the variety that you want. But it also creates distance between the consumer and the source. And that distance will create uncertainty, because when you don't know where your food comes from, how it was grown, or how it was processed, you are actually relying entirely on systems and regulations that you have no control over. And then there's the scale of modern food distribution. Think about places like Costco or Sam's Club. You know, these are massive retailers moving enormous amounts of food every single day. And that's where we saw a very valid question being raised. How is it possible to produce, process, and distribute this much food so quickly, consistently, and cheaply? Because actually food in its natural form takes time. Crops have seasons. Animals grow at biological rates. So when everything becomes faster, bigger, and more efficient, it's natural to wonder what had to change to make that possible. And now here's where I think it's important to stay balanced. Not everything in modern food systems is harmful, maybe, you know. In fact, advancements in food science have made food more accessible and reduced hunger in many parts of the world. But awareness matters. Reading labels, understanding ingredients, being intentional about what you consume. Because at the end of the day, food is not just fuel, it's information for your body. It affects your energy, your health, even your long-term well-being. And that's where the solution in this video actually makes a lot of sense. Cooking more at home, you know, buying from local farmers when possible, even growing small amounts of your own food if you can. Not because you have to reject the entire system, but because you are taking back a level of control. Depend more on organic food. So after watching all this, here's the real question. Do you think the modern food system is improving our lives or quietly moving us further away from what real food is supposed to be? And how much responsibility should be on us versus, the companies producing what we eat? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear your perspective on this. And if you enjoy deep, thoughtful breakdowns like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Why? Because we are just getting started. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.